Okay. Uh, what is it? The second now? It's been 2 days, and I am still seeing this stupid video being posted all the time as if it should be front page news on every publication. It should be talked about 24/7 on every news broadcast, and I'm getting sick of it. This stupid video of a ring cam that showed a couple of adults and a few kids going into the bucket left out and absconding with all the Halloween trick or treats outside of this one house. Um, Candy in a bowl that somebody left out for trick or treaters, and here comes the group of parents and kids. Wow, the candy's out. Let's fill our little treat bags and take off. And this is how I know our society is really, really fucked, for lack of a better term. And no, I'm not talking about the adults and the kids stealing the candy. I'm talking about everybody's unbelievable reaction to another video of adults and kids stealing candy. It's Halloween. I'm actually surprised people haven't figured it out by now. Most times, when houses leave out a bowl full of candy, there is going to be somebody who attempts to steal the entire thing. Whether it's a kid or an adult, it really doesn't matter. This type of thing happens every year at Halloween. Every year. You know those instances where some Karen or some Ken tries to accuse somebody of doing something horribly offensive, and of course what they want is for that person to lose their job, lose their livelihood over their inconvenience. They try to do what they can to hurt the other person, and in those instances, you have to turn to the Karen and say, how stupid are you for doing A, B, and C? What did you expect would happen doing A, B, and C? I think you're a troublemaker, and I want you the fuck out of my store. I want you to leave this person alone. There are a lot of instances, I just can't think of one right off the top of my head right now, where the person complaining and trying to cause trouble for somebody else by feigning offense or insult or injury is themselves to blame for the incident. You could actually say, what the hell are these people thinking was gonna happen when you leave out a bowl full of candy. Kids are going to steal it. People are going to try to steal it. And this one video is up and it's everywhere. Like, this is the only time it's ever happened. And look at how horrible these people are. You would never believe the shit that I've been reading on Twitter and on Reddit. And I'm about to read it again because yet somebody else has posted again this video of the parents and kids or whoever stealing the candy. I have seen everything about this one video, from racism to misogyny to people using it to try to blame Biden. Yes, conspiracy theorists, GOP right-wing dipshits are watching this video and uh, doing the mental gymnastics thing to try to tie it to the Biden administration. and the president's failings, and why if Trump were president, nothing like this would ever happen. I have seen doxing attempts, people brigading online, trying to get people to figure out who these people are. They're all insane. They are all fucking batshit, stone cold fucking nuts insane. This video goes around. I have probably seen about 101 videos every year of people who leave the bowl of candy out and people steal it. It's something that I would think would be common sense by now. Why do you do that? Why do you leave a bowl of candy outside? Yes, we know. The intention is that you're too lazy to come to the door to hand out treats, but you don't want your house egged. So instead, you leave the bowl of candy out. And you think people are going to listen to you. You know, even good kids are going to be, tempted to steal a whole bunch of candy. Oh, you just got here? The candy stealing vid, that's pissing me off now because people are reposting it so much. But like I was saying, it's par for the course. You're better off putting out a bowl of shit that kids don't like. Put out a bowl of toothbrushes or dollar gift certificates to McDonald's if you don't want somebody like just stealing everything. I don't know why you have to make such a big deal out of it, and then people are saying, oh, it's because there's parents in there. I don't know. Do you recognize these people? Do you know them? Do you know that they're parents of these kids? Or maybe kids got their attention and they all came running to the candy bowl? Or maybe it's the tail end of the night. They're about to stop trick-or-treating. It could be like 9 p.m. for all you know. And maybe nobody's hit this house. Maybe this is a house that's off the beaten path. Maybe these adults aren't even these kids' parents. You don't know. And yeah, it sets a bad example. That one guy there, I don't even know if he is a parent. He looks like he could be a teenager. What if the guy inside called out over a ring cam and said, you know what? I was about to bring in the bowl anyway. It's like 8:30 at night. I haven't had a trick-or-treater in half an hour. I'm shutting off my lights. I'm going inside. Just take everything. You don't know. And either way, what do you care? It's still Halloween. At least it's good to see that the treats are going to good use. It's a bowl of candy. It's a bowl of candy on Halloween. Ultimately, who cares? I promise you, this is not the only time ever that people have stolen from a bowl of candy on Halloween. I am disgusted over people making it into something political. People are getting racist and misogynist over it. Now fuck off. It's a video of Halloween candy. If you feel so bad for the homeowner, then maybe next year he'll get off his ass and give out the candy himself. You know, I read about some special kid who had the door slammed in his face 2 or 3 times because people thought he was too old to go trick-or-treating and wouldn't give him candy. Maybe that says something about society that you would be in the right to comment on. But no, you know, this video is the one that's going on. Nope, this has been going on since Halloween and I'm sick of it. Clip is blowing up on Instagram as well. We needed it for our local food bank. We took it to the church. They need to feel shame over this. They probably don't even live in that neighborhood. Definitely, the news outlets need to cover this. It's a bowl of candy. This happens every Halloween at every house that leaves out a bowl of fucking candy. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been reading. You people are fucking insane. They're all savages. It's all just a confusing mess. I know so many people who raise their kids like this, and we wonder why society is crumbling. Emotional children raising children. You know, there was another story I read recently about a brand new merchandise donation drop off at a Goodwill. Some of those toys and objects that were being donated were earmarked for certain households to go to certain children. And I read about how this employee noticed things were missing, came back after closing, parked in a neighboring business's lot, and watched her boss drive up with another car with a group of other adults that she didn't recognize. Boss let them in the back of the store, and here they come out, giddy as can be, with all the donated merchandise, including 2 brand new bikes that were donated by somebody specifically marked to go to certain children on Christmas. They took it all. I don't see anybody talking about that. I don't see anybody talking about all the fraud, all the theft, all the nasty shit going on in this world, going on right in our country. But here you have a bunch of adults and children taking Halloween candy from a bowl left out on Halloween. And isn't it just the worst thing in the world? Isn't this just a perfect example of why we need immigration laws, our border, Biden? Oh my God, right, left-wingers are just ruining this country. What? What the fuck are you talking about? That is what's really disgusting to me about all this. It has nothing to do with a bowl of Halloween candy. It has nothing to do with the parenting of these children. If these adults are really adults and if they are really the parents of their children, nobody knows shit about whether or not the owner was talking to nobody knows anything, but this is just another excuse. This video is just a springboard to Go off on a rant, a diatribe on anything you want to blame all the problems of society on. All the right-wingers are watching this video and saying, Biden's America, those damn Democrats, this is what socialism does, you know? And then you've got your usual haters and bullshitters and just total pieces of shit out there that are watching this video and going, racist, racist, misogyny, misogyny, racism, racism, misogyny, inappropriate comment about this child, inappropriate comment about that child, misogyny, racism, racism. That's all you're hearing from them. And then there's me saying, shut the fuck up. I wish I had a dime for every Halloween candy stealing video that I have watched in the past 5 years. Every instance of stolen candy that I've experienced since I was 6. It happens. You don't leave out a bowl of fucking candy. It's just not a smart thing to do. If you're so worried about people acting in good faith and being honest and you know, all that happy horse shit, then you're a fucking idiot for leaving out a bowl of candy at Halloween. You know, when I get pissed off about things like that, yeah, exactly. The whole fucking country is built on stealing shit. And you're going to use this video to try to further some ass backward agenda about society. I'm so sick of it. These people are what disgusts me more than anything going on in this video. And I haven't heard or seen one person say that. It's really sad. And you know, when I get rightfully upset when it comes to things like this, when I used to bring in like 12 packs of soda to work or certain places I used to frequent, and I get that trashy little mooch that nobody likes walking up to me and going, "Can I have it?" No, you can't have it. They're 2, 3, 12 packs of soda. I'm bringing them into the building so that everybody can enjoy them. No, I'm not going to fucking give them to you. You want soda? Go pick through the street for spare change and buy your own $2.99 store brand 12 pack of soda. It's not for you. I brought them in for everyone. And that's the same when I'm going into work or someplace I'm spending my day and I'm nice enough to bring a tray of cookies or a cake or a bag of old clothes that people might need there instead of me stuffing them into a donation bin, or 12 packs of soda. Then I can get upset. I'm not throwing the shit on the table and walking away, because that would be like saying, I don't give a fuck. Fight with each other over it. I'm just trying to get rid of it. No, I don't do that. If I bring in stuff I mean to go to everybody, I'm going to make sure I'm there and put it out for everybody. You've probably got to have rocks in your head to nowadays to leave a bowl of candy out on Halloween and expect it not to disappear. That's usually what happens when people leave bowls of candy out. And yes, parents are supposed to know better and teach their little ones to just take one. But here's something else you don't think about. And we're talking about Halloween candy. We're not talking about a drop suitcase of cash. We're not talking about food stuff brought in for the poor or donations at a place where they're supposed to be doled out to the community. We're talking about a bowl of Halloween candy at what looks like a very distant house from the normal neighborhood. You ever stop to think you ever stop to think that maybe these parents figure they better take as much candy as they can, because if they take one, the next people up to the house will be seen on camera taking all the candy. Maybe part of the reason they take it all is because they know somebody else is going to take it all. Might as well be them. I can promise you, if you were walking through the woods or something and you found an open suitcase full of cash lying there where practically nobody goes, you just happen to stumble upon it, and you might say to yourself, I'll just take $100 bill and walk away. Um, leave some for somebody else. I really don't need it. Yeah, that's very noble. Guess what the next person's going to do when they come across that suitcase of cash? They're taking all of it. And, you can feel good and nice about yourself for not touching the money or only taking something because you absolutely needed it. Um, People would be calling you an idiot for not taking all that money, because the next person who comes by will be taking all of that money. I mean, it's Halloween candy. I don't know. Yes, back in the day, everyone was respectful. They did nothing bad like stealing Halloween candy, you know, because back in the day, you could probably go trick or treating and actually get a huge bag of candy. You know, everybody also made a great living back in the day. Everybody had a job that paid the mortgage back in the day. Everybody kept their doors unlocked back in the day. They didn't slam their doors in the faces of children because, you know, they looked a little bit too old to be trick or treating. You never heard about shit like that back in the day. But people have a lot of problems today. Hell, I remember a couple of years ago, they were sending word around my parents' neighborhood that there was this scam going on where adults would come to the door on Halloween and say that their kids were sick. So could they get the candy for their kids who are in the car? Yeah, okay, and what's wrong with that? Well, they're just scamming. They're just racism, racism, racism. Certain people from certain parts of town that are just looking for free food, and they're going to come to your door and claim they have a kid in the car and trick or treat for treats, and they really have no kid. They just want the candy. It's a bite-sized Snickers. I give out bite-sized Snickers. What exactly? How am I getting scammed? It's good, isn't it, to help out people that are in need? If they want to come to the door and say, my kids are sick, so I'm trick-or-treating for them, how am I scammed by handing them a bite-sized Snickers? Now, if what you're trying to say is that people from the city are going to come to your lily white neighborhood and terrorize you by claiming their kids are sick so they can get a bite-sized Snickers, that has a kind of a different connotation to it. And if you think about it, this is the type of bullshit that leads to more racism, more divisive horseshit. This, to me, is just a modern version of it. It's just another version of it. There are no stories, there are no neighborhood warnings about the wrong people coming to your house on Halloween. Now there's just showing a video, which is really one out of 1,000 different videos like it that come out every Halloween. And, make up your own story surrounding the video, whatever supports your narrative. Whatever you can pull out of your ass, that will help make your point for you. Yeah, that's another thing. One candy bar. That one guy took one candy bar. And you want to know something? They would. These people would get pissed off and call the cops or something. Or pull out a fucking gun. How's that? We are in America. It's 2023. Gee, it's almost like these people online are lamenting the fact that the homeowner didn't come out of the door with a 12 gauge and blow away these adults and a couple of kids because he said, one bite-sized Snickers. Fucking people are insane. It defies description. Anyway, I'm so fucking sick of seeing it. There was even, who was it? Matt Gaetz? Or there's some fucking right-wing pundit said the next day, of course, he was going down the racist route and the illegal immigration route. And I had to say, and other people surely had to say, um, uh, what exactly is it by looking at this video? What is it about any of these people that say to you illegal immigrant? What is with the racist shtick? That mom right there is white. You're just going to ignore that and still be racist? Yes, I am. No, I don't have a good back. um, I do this for a very specific reason. Yeah, I've had people actually notice I lie on my little broken bed in front of a 6-year-old laptop to do my streams because honestly, I don't have anything better right now. My apartment doesn't even have a table and chairs. So, uh, until I get something better, No, I don't want to lie down. I don't want to be using my old laptop to do my streaming. Um, but I kind of don't have any other choice. I literally don't have a desk or uh, a single chair or a table in my apartment. So, uh, until some serious shit changes, this is how I stream. I'm actually lucky I got a better mic, which is integrated into these phones. These are quite expensive. Of course, they were given to me by somebody, just like this laptop was given to me by somebody because my old one shit the bed. Trust me, I'd love to have the whole setup and everything, but you kind of need money for stuff like that. And money's something I don't really have. So here's to hoping, right? Crazy how elected officials can just go on social media and lie. It's now been revealed that Joe Biden received $40,000 from laundered CEFC China energy funds. This came once again through his brother, James Biden. This is the most corrupt president to ever occupy the Oval Office, says Bobo. No, it hasn't. No, it didn't. No, he isn't. Otherwise, great tweet. And I agree with this original poster here. I think there should be serious consequences for people, elected representatives, that blatantly lie like this. And I don't want to hear either, but they honestly believe it, or they believe they can prove it, or they honestly heard that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you want to believe, what your agenda is, who you heard it from. You're an elected official. You're an elected representative. You are supposed to work for the people, not for special interest groups, not for yourself, not for your religion, not for your family, not for your own financial and personal gain, not for your own career. You work for me, motherfucker. When you are an elected official, I expect you to keep your fucking nose clean and tell the truth at all times. There should be instant and swift and serious repercussion for people like this who blatantly lie. And I don't care how much you want to try to defend or justify your lies. I don't care what you try to say is a matter of opinion. No, it ain't a matter of opinion. You are not in the business of opinion. You are not in the business of faith. You are not in the business of special interests. You're in the business of serving me. What this bitch is saying is an outright lie. And where's the proof? This is laundered Chinese money. And by the way, 40 grand is the corrupt president ever? Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, they are. Yes, she certainly is. That's the whole point of posting it here. Huh, my man Joe out here laundering a used Chevy Silverado. Did you know that back in the 70s, Hunter Biden walked around on Halloween and voters just gave him candy? Clear bribery, most corrupt president ever. That's a good one. I was just talking about this on Twitter. although it was from some religious freak. It is astounding how frequently the no you slap knee jerk knee slap reaction is being used by these people. They don't even try to back up their claims with facts. They don't even try to properly defend themselves and the bullshit that comes out of their mouths. They don't bother because they can't. The knee-jerk reaction always with these people, and it's disturbing, is just no you. This theater jerking idiot and the Neanderthal MTG and all the rest of them, that's what they're made of. That's the extent of their intelligence. That's the extent of their ability to discuss and debate things that they want people to think is true. It's just no you. Trump is one hell of a corrupt motherfucking president. He's the biggest mistake we probably ever had in America in the Oval Office. No you. Biden is the most corrupt president we've ever had. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, Hunter Biden, Biden's son. Oh, he's so much of a freaking degenerate. He's hanging out with hookers and he's doing this and he's doing that. Hunter Biden is not an elected official. Is this because, Jared and Ivanka and all the Trump kids and the $2 billion from Saudi Arabia and the 640 million the, favorite daughter made while dad was in the Oval Office? Is this why you're bringing up Hunter Biden? You got nothing, do you? You never had anything. That's all you got is no you. Trump did this. Biden did this. Trump is the worst. Biden is the worst. Do you think people aren't noticing a pattern here? Do you think people are as dumb as those who actually support you? And they're going to believe this, that when you try to say, President Biden is the most corrupt president we've ever had, that it is not because Trump is the most corrupt president that we've ever had. Do you think people are going to believe you? This shit should be grounds for immediate dismissal. You are not helping the country. You are not enriching anybody's lives. You are not giving anything of real use to the American public. You are not helping anybody progress. You are not growing this nation. You are not enriching this nation. You are providing nothing for anybody. You are retarding the progress of this nation. And you need to be thrown out for that shit. Well, their main guy is a Trumpy lunatic, so it's not like it was about something unwelcomed by any company. Don't want to be making him richer. All their stuff sucks. Talking about Goya. God just blessed Hunter with that fat dong, too. You can't tell me there wasn't an exchange of favors. Biden crime family at it again. Good. I'm good, people. I'm happy people are joking around like this, because this is what they sound like. people have them pegged, and they just keep going. It's like they don't care, or they're not listening, or they don't have the ability to hear or comprehend. It's a mental illness, low IQ, psychosis. What is it? Illegal gerrymandering with no accountability for insider trading and committing crimes by doing nothing. Bet the little bitch was dressed as a laptop. I would dress as a laptop if I were Hunter Biden. Holy shit! I so wish I were Hunter Biden on Halloween. I would have totally dressed up like a laptop. He needs some scratch to fix up the Trans Am he parked in the White House driveway. Sounds like something the Onion would print. I wish Reddit still had awards. I'd give you the I'm dead for this. Oh my god, my fucking leg. Biden's brother borrowed $200K from him, then paid it back. That's it. That's the whole story. No net gain. Don't forget, this all happened in 2017 and 18 when he wasn't, president. Dude, and this is another part of the problem. They keep posting this shit. I don't want to see it. We need to not justify these people's shit by posting it everywhere. This is a great cartoon. People walking in to vote. Vote to preserve your democracy, to save our union, to stop fascism, to own control of your own body. And here's the maggot at the voting booth. Dollar ain't what it used to be. Love it. And the voters walking in is a black man and a woman. This year's vote is crucial where I live. At this point, all of them are. Fascists will not take time off. They will become more organized if they are not stopped. Overwhelming numbers at the ballot box is our best solution. Remind them that they are only a minority. Maybe some people with the wool over their eyes will begin to notice that what they are supporting is not good. And even if they believe that it's good, that's something I don't hear anybody say. Even if they believe that it's good, enough of the overwhelming majority goes to vote and keeps this shit tucked away in the dark corners of society where it all belongs, then they can continue believing what they want to believe, and we don't ever have to deal with it. We don't ever have to hear it. We don't ever have to have our lives put on the line because of it. Kind of like what they want to do to gay people, what they want to do to minorities, what they want to do to asylum seekers, what they want to do to women, this vast minority. And listen to what I just said. That, by definition, is a minority. When this group and that group and this and the other and all these different groups are the ones that you are against, you are the minority. This country is not supposed to work for a minority. This country is supposed to work as per the votes of the majority. Right now in this country, what you've got is a minority of people that want to shove into dark corners of society The majority, women, minorities, asylum seekers, immigrants, liberals, the educated, pretty much everybody but themselves, the minority, they want to just go away, where nobody can hear them, nobody can see them, and this minority will make all the rules that govern every aspect of their lives. It doesn't work that way. This minority, with the very harmful, backwards, bullshit beliefs and practices and religion and everything that encompasses everything that is bad for this country. Those are the people that are supposed to be shoved into the corner, where we never have to hear them, we never have to see them, and nothing they ever think or say or do will have any impact on our lives. That's how it's supposed to work. I want religious freaks and fascists and neo-Nazis and racists and misogynists to go the fuck away, sit in the back of the room, believe whatever you want, and, we're actually fine with letting you believe whatever you want, because none of it will ever affect any of us in any way, which is the way it should be. Go ahead, think what you want, say what you want. Go ahead. Believe whatever it is you want to believe. It's actually good that you do so, because it makes it easier to laugh at you. Because you have no power over anybody. And that's how it should be, because you're a piece of shit. Oh, I don't know what that is. Yeah, why all the UK shit too? Oh my God, look at this guy. To drive with a snowy windshield.
Yeah, she's really executing herself some really good.
You know what's really funny about that? I used to legit drive around in the winter that way. I'd be running late for work, or I just would not feel like sitting in my car and wasting time brushing off the snow. And if you're wondering why his windshield wipers aren't running, they freeze. They freeze and stick to your windshield. You have to make sure that you warm up your car in the morning when it's winter time, because nothing is going to work. Your windshield wipers aren't going to break loose and start working. The snow and ice isn't going to melt off the windshield. Your wiper fluid is not going to come out. It would have frozen in the lines. So this is a guy, it's not that he has broken windshield wipers. It's that he was either running late or he just didn't give a shit. So he went out into his car and started it up, and he actually went on the expressway, realizing that he really can't see. So he's putting a snow brush outside the window, and I have legit done that. I just was either running late or I just didn't want to wait for my car to warm up. So I'd brush off some loose snow. I'd like use the ice scraper and I'd have a hole this big in my side of the windshield. I'm looking out of a windshield that's like this big of a space, and I just pull the fuck out and I drive to work. And then sometimes, if it's really, really bad, I'd have to pull over and I'd have to try to scrape a bigger hole out of my windshield. And that's how I knew I was a really good driver. That's actually the true test of a good driver. People would look at this guy and they'd make fun of him. He's actually probably the best driver on the road because he's looking out a space this big in the middle of winter and he's on the expressway like that. But, and it also, you know, just in case you're wondering why he doesn't wait like 2 minutes, it takes a lot longer than 2 minutes to warm up your car to where your wipers break free and the ice melts off your windshield and your wiper fluid doesn't freeze in the lines. And you can't wait that long. You know, when you get in the car and you put it in reverse or drive and you just start driving, it actually heats up the car faster. So sometimes it might actually be better and more time saving to scrape that little hole in front of your face on the windshield and then try driving a while and then see if your wipers will pop. It can actually work out better for you that way. Who was it? Somebody I follow on Twitter said something like, Google, show me the absolute worst example of modern humanity in a single sentence right now. What World War III would mean for investors. This is an actual article from The Economist. Blondes are now telling Lauren Boebert jokes. You know,
In fact,
what this reminds me of? You've seen Encino Man, haven't you? Well, I'm actually thinking, what if Marjorie Taylor Greene is an actual Neanderthal? What if scientists found a way to take some DNA, either clone a Neanderthal or uh, try to do something with a donor egg or whatever the hell they use to do it. Like, they've been talking in the news, they want to do this with like monkeys or something. What if they did whatever science shit they had to do and they managed to bring back a Neanderthal? And it was Marjorie Taylor Greene. And because they are technically our immediate predecessors, I know they've recently discovered the Devonians, but they think Devonians was a separate species that lived like this long compared to Neanderthals and then Homo sapiens. So Neanderthals are still technically our immediate predecessors. So they're not supposed to be too different from us. So maybe Neanderthals actually have the ability to be raised and live similarly enough to humans. And this was some project they started back in like the late 60s, early 70s when Three Toes was born. And she grew up a Neanderthal and she was close enough to a normal human that she could pass as a normal human. And it is all by design that they ended up deciding to rig everything to put her into Congress. And this is the reason stupidity reigns supreme in America today. Because, you now have a Neanderthal as a political leader. I don't know. Don't knock it, because that's the same thing, without the public office. It's the same plot from Encino Man. Only thing is, they don't try to use a donor egg or whatever and grow a Cro-Magnon man from birth. And Encino Man, Cro-Magnon man was frozen in ice, and it was just the right conditions that he was able to come back to life as soon as he thawed. And, Sean Astin and Pauly Shore used him to become popular at high school in California. But it's been done, and it was a popular movie. I liked it when I was younger. So, why wouldn't that make for a good story now? A Neanderthal is grown in a lab and is raised like a normal human, and it's set up so that she goes into Congress, and almost nobody can tell the difference in there. Since the right likes to make up stories, pull things out of their ass, and just repeat it like it's true, maybe I should write that down and claim that it's true. Bill Maher once got sued by Trump for saying he honestly believes that Trump is the offspring of this red-headed orangutan. And Trump actually took offense to it and tried to sue Bill Maher and was never successful, of course. And so that could be my legal precedent. If Bill Maher can say, I honestly believe Trump is the offspring of a red-haired orangutan, then I can say I honestly believe Marjorie Taylor Greene is the product of DNA from a Neanderthal. Ooh, Jon Stewart. Love Jon Stewart. Let's talk about Israel. You go, Jon Stewart.
Tonight in the Middle East, where Israel...
What? Israel isn't supposed to defend itself?
Oh, yeah, Mexico bombed Texas will be exercised.
What other country held to the same standard as Israel that want to destroy her terrorism? 4,000 years ago. The only democracy in the Middle East, you self-hating Jew?
That was weird. Anyway, what I was saying was last Thursday saw the start of a new ground offensive launched by Israel.
Tradition!
Look, obviously there are many strong opinions on this issue, but just merely mentioning Israel or questioning in any way the effectiveness or humanity of Israel's policies is not the same thing as being pro-Hamas.
So you're against murdered children?
Zionist egg!
know what? Why don't we just talk about something lighter, like Ukraine?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Holy shit. Jon Stewart and his show was just so brilliant. Yeah, and I know this is pretty old, right? Yeah, I do love Jon Stewart. I've been trying to find a lot of old clips of the old Daily Show. The one that I've been looking for in particular is where he has the argument with the almond. That is the show where I learned that you need an immense amount of water to have an almond farm. Like, it's weird. You would think that like if you wanted to grow watermelon, it would take a lot of water because watermelon contain a lot of water. And if you wanted to grow something like almonds, it must take very little water because almonds are dry little nuts. But apparently not. It was on Daily Show. He was talking about how huge amounts of water are needed to grow almonds and how that is bad. Maybe we should be backing off the almonds because of all the water it's using. And then an almond appeared on the screen and he's like, wait a minute, almond! And the almond had like a Brooklyn accent and it was bitching at him for like 10 minutes. I've been trying to find that clip. Pretty much our world right now. I never thought comedy would become real life. It was real life then. Self-hating Jew is an old meme. Yeah, and the Daily Show was really accurate because not only are they giving you the news, they're also making a show, an entire show, out of how people are reacting to that news. It's not just headlines, it's everything that goes on surrounding those headlines. What gets people talking, the extent of the seriousness of arguments. And this was a perfect example of what happens when you talk about Israel. And like a lot of people don't seem to get, a lot of people seem to think the Israel versus Hamas and Palestine thing is something new because they just saw it pop up on the news a couple of weeks ago. It's been going on for decades, as this clip shows. I'll bet a lot of people watch this and they think it was taped this morning. This was 9 years ago, and it was our world back then too. Jon Stewart left The Daily Show in like 2015. I had to look it up to make sure this wasn't a new thing he did on Colbert as a guest or something. It is insane how we are exactly the same today as almost a decade ago. Well, that's what Reddit has been for the last few weeks. Not just Reddit, the whole fucking world. Cough, cough, idiocracy. You know, Mike Judge came out and said he never once intended for his show, his movie, to be some prediction of the future. He also specifically stated it was a commentary on yuppies who will sit back and do nothing while the world burns. The fuck are yuppies? I always forget. Well, yuppie was actually a term from back in the 80s. Yuppies was supposed to stand for young urban professional. Although most yuppies weren't young, basically your yuppies were your really rich hipster people that had everything made in life, and they tried to be, it's like what people today might think of a liberal elitist as. These are rich professionals that live in big cities, and they go visit avant-garde theater productions, and they talk about world issues, and they go to benefit dinners, and they talk about charities and all this shit that's going on in the world like they really know and care. In reality, they don't. They spend most of their free time shopping for expensive shit, and they make fun of poor people, and they don't end up giving money to charity, and everything in their life is about their job and making it to the top, and uh, having all the best of everything. And it's weird. Nobody uses the term yuppie anymore, which is why somebody occasionally says it and nobody knows what it is. Now they'll say liberal elitist, or they'll even just say hipster. You know, uh, like people that claim that they're all about peace and love in the world, and they recycle and they give to charity, and they're not racist or sexist or anythingist at all, and but they spend money and live in gentrified neighborhoods that price out poor people, and are the reason that businesses close down so that more expensive places can move into the old buildings. And yeah, we have that today. In the 80s, they were called yuppies. And I don't know. We as a species have learned nothing. Untrue. We just learned how to speak more. I'd also say what muddies the water is the boosting of false or fringe narratives is actually credulous. News is getting less reputable, so the discourse and reporting is heavily diluted. There is no money in honest, factual, thorough reporting, and the market has pushed fast, superficial news as profitable. This sums up the situation perfectly. To me, the bad guys are both Hamas and the far-right Israeli government, not the innocent people of either country that have nothing to do with the two evil ones but are suffering because of them. Yes. Well, there are settlers who are seizing the West Bank by kicking out Palestinians. They are gleefully picking up the slack. Lots of enablers. Yeah, well, put in these terms, it's just about immediately being pushed into a corner and having to either A, say Israel has the right to defend itself, or B, condemn Hamas. What do you mean, say Israel has the right to defend itself and condemn Hamas? So, in other words, both are defending Israel and saying nothing about Palestine. You mean you're pushed into a corner to say either you believe Israel has the right to defend itself, which means everyone in Palestine is guilty, or you don't side with Israelis, but they'll try to say that means you support Hamas. And I think they're both fucking awful. So, is Jon Stewart back on the Daily Show? See, people think this was reported like 10 minutes ago. I don't know. Proving a few points right there. I don't know. I'm not going to get into an argument at all because I will not argue about my stance. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't care what you want to think. My position is they are both just fucking awful. I care about innocent civilians. I care about children and innocents, regardless of whether they're Palestinian or Israeli. That's who I care about. As far as Hamas, as far as the Israeli government, they are both fucking awful. You want to take sides? You want to do something about it? You want to end the conflict? Get rid of all of your civilians? Leave your IDF? Leave your Hamas fighters? I'm sure they'll have no problem with it. Take the innocents out of the picture any way you can do so and let them duke it out. Then you can take a side. When there's innocent civilians involved, I'm not going to listen to you. Take a side and lambaste the other or force me to take one side over another. It ain't going to happen. All right. I need something to eat. I'm going bye-bye. I'm going to play some of my game too. I'll see you guys in a bit. Mwah.